All right, welcome to the Spoiler Kings. My name is Tank Kramer with Brandman Brandon, Brian the Grizzly, and we are going to talk about Interview the Vampire, Episode 3, No Pain. Nice, easy, short title this time, but very, very good title.
Oh
Man,
it's so
it's
good. Oh my goodness. They know how to make a damn show.
Mhm.
that they do, man.
Sure does. Sure do.
Come on. I'm like, man, come on, give me more. When the show ends, I'm like, it was only an hour? That was it? That's all you give me?
Every week. Let me see if
It's got
background looks good or not.
it's got like a ton of rewatch value. Like I find myself rewatching each episode.
Yeah, I like it.
Sometimes even like right after I finish it the first time, I'll just rewatch it.
Yeah.
It's a TiVo every episode.
You might as well. Like, I pause it, I tell someone about it, and then I go back to it. And now my wife was watching it with me, and she was like, "Do you not notice this is a cult?" And I was like,
Mhm.
"Yes, it is." To me, it was like a gang. And then she was like, "No, look what a definition of a cult is." And I was like, "Oh." And talking between people really kind of gets other people's opinions, and I love hearing it. I love just
Mhm.
seeing what you see. Everyone sees a little bit different, and it's very enjoyable because at the end of the day, I told her like they just do a great job with each character, developing them week after week, and I care. I care about what's going on. Like I'm voting for Claudia, who's like going to kill everybody. Like I'm I'm all for it. Like let's go. Knowing I know the ending. Yeah, I'm enjoying the journey. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm digging it a lot too. Even like you said, even though you know where it ends, the journey, and also they're doing so. If you've seen the movie,
It's
like they're doing stuff way more than the movie because it seems like they're adding different books. I never read any of the other books. But it seems like they're putting things of Vampire Arman in it. I
This
could be
one,
wrong.
Vampire Lestat, that's the third book. This episode was very much full of that. Arman's story. And and then you start to realize, we're getting into it, but you start to realize everyone who's telling the story is more important about who's the one whose viewpoint you're seeing it from than what's actually happening. Because you have no idea what truth really is.
Yeah.
And that's always been what I liked about the Vampire Chronicles, like the Anne Rice stories. That exactly what you said, Brian. That they're all like just all the characters telling like their side. It's very much like their POV. The like Interview with the Vampire is for the most part Louis' POV. Vampire Lestat, is how Lestat saw things. Him kind of setting the record straight, and him going into his own backstory, and this is what happened, this is what happened, this is what happened, and Vampire Armand is very much the same thing. Like pretty much each Vampire Chronicles story. That's what I've always liked about Anne Rice. That like there each book has a very distinct and different voice than the one before it.
Yeah. Which it works out perfect because you're able to like you said, do that when you understand each character sees things different. So it's like here's the overall story where they all mingle, but then they all start in the different spots, and then that part that mingle in the middle is like, but he sees it differently how he sees it, and he had different feelings than he had, and it's all the stuff that led to it that changes how they view things, for instance, like Louis sees things very human like,
Exactly.
where other vampires don't,
Yep.
so he thinks differently, and it's really, really like interesting how they're doing it, and I really enjoy that they're doing more than just that movie did, in the 90s. But
it was fine as an adaptation. It just it just didn't do there's they give themselves more space with with what they can do. There's more breathing room in the form of a series. I think a series, and this kind of goes for a lot of books. Maybe like series are the ways to adapt them.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, here's another thing. They're using different directors on different episodes. So you're seeing different people's point of view. So once again, we Anne Rice is doing it from different people's point of view, and then we're getting different directors doing these points of view. And you can see the difference in each one. And I thought that's pretty awesome. They're doing, the details are so well done. It's not like a show, it's like a movie every single week. Answering your questions,
really
and you're feeling these things, and you're wondering, like, what's going on, how they doing this, and they're answering the questions in a movie set. It's awesome. The setting, I think this week was off the chain. I loved it. Seeing the vampire Arman through a different set of eyes, his beginning story, understanding how he never wanted to be a leader and how he kind of fell into it, right? And then how he had his coven, but he didn't. He was leading it, but he no longer believed in it, and then how he let it be torn apart and reshaped, and then was able to take it from what Lestat did, and breathe it again. Like, he's like, oh, the cover's gone, and he was able to kind of breathe new life into it. So, and then it was even weird because even when though Lestat used him to get what he wanted, he still kept it going. He still financially made sure it was still going. So, like, it's weird even when you see it through Armand's eyes, while you see Lestat through his eyes. It's not. It doesn't really go with what's going on. It doesn't really make, he only cares about everyone else. Then why would he make sure financially you're okay? Like, there's so many, like, just things, hidden things that are just in there. You're like, what? That doesn't make any sense. You're changing what's going on. You're changing your opinion because it's from your point of view, not necessarily what the truth is. So good.
Yeah. So where is it? Horgeek said they showed Nicholas. I believe Nicholas was the guy that was talking to Daniel in the restaurant, right?
Even bringing those people again.
I have no idea what the hell that is. Like, I'm new to a lot of this stuff, and I'm like, is it they hacked his computer, and now I'm like, oh shit, this is really gonna be good, because, like, is it the government? Is it another secret agency? Is it like vampire hunters? It's like, what the fuck is this? I'm like so interested in it now.
It is a different secret agency, though. Like, from what I know about it, it's a secret agency that keeps tabs on vampires.
Yeah,
like,
Talmaskins.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, like, they're their own entity in itself.
Yeah. So Nick is Lestat's first level. Ooh, oh, really? Okay.
When do we see?
I mean, that might be book stuff, so that might be like down the line in like Vampire Lestat kind of story when we get to that. Because
no. So remember Arman?
Oh no, Nicholas is.
Yeah, remember Arman takes him away, and he's showing all his power and all stuff because he's trying to get and he's walking with him
in the memory. Okay,
yeah, he's walking with him, and Arman takes him, and Lestat has to come to the coven to retrieve him. And he comes in with the big Jesus on the cross.
Yeah,
not just like a cross. He took it straight out of the church, like, and brought it in there. It was crazy. And he told them about themselves and said everything that Armand was thinking. He said, I've been thinking this for the last 6 months. He let basically tear the coven apart and walk out with them.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah. That whole thing was crazy. We got Kenny Sparks. What's up, Kenny?
What up, Kenny?
Happy
Memorial Day, man. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, because I was getting confused. I'm like, which one was Nick? But okay, yeah, that makes, I remember now. Yeah. Nick was mentioned in season 1. Yeah. Okay. Because that's super cool, because then you see like Lestat, all him dealing with that, and him seeing powers, and he's like, how do you have those powers? Like, how'd you do that? Like, he's so intrigued, and it's really interesting because, like, so far in the show, we haven't seen Lestat be like that. We haven't seen him like crave something, like, I want this. What I want this power that you have, and it kind of, it's a different view from, because he was always the one in charge. But even still, he was able to manipulate, and they say it in the show in this episode where Arman was saying like Lestat has this way of like charm where people are just like drawn to him, and you watch him and you just want to like him. And I was like, I feel ever since they like killed him, I start to like him more. But then you kind of remember, even in this episode, where Claudia's like,
Claudia, oh my god.
So that's why you're like, oh man, Lestat's not that bad of a guy. And at the end, you're like, oh no, he's you forget, because you love this, how evil and manipulative Lestat is, that you forget that he is a bad person.
He's complicated because they talk about his beginnings, how horrible his beginnings were, and they even kind of mentioned it in this. We just started. Exactly. They mentioned it even here, like, oh, this must be afterwards. But what's up? But he got past that, all that beginning stuff by the time he met Arman. That's how it was. But it was even like how charming the crowd loved him. He was just, everyone's just totally just loves and is drawn towards him. So that was amazing even to see and realize how different they see him, a different viewpoint of Lestat. And Lestat is probably all these things and more, but we're only getting these small snippets. And even the idea of saying that you know him, you really don't until you hear his point of view. Dude, it's so good. But that part with Claudia, that was problematic for me.
Oh man, yeah. This is not Johnny Depp vampire. I forgot whatever that one was. No, this is like good vampire stuff. Like if you haven't watched the show yet, this might be one of I want to say the best, but it's definitely one of the best things on TV right now.
It's so good.
It's so good. It's so good. But yeah, like you said, Lestat, and that's what it's like. Like Tom Cruise was a great Lestat, because I see Mama Bear talking about like the '90s Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise. These guys are so much better, especially the guy who plays Lestat, Sam Reed.
Sam Reed is like, he's easily my favorite Lestat. I think he just hits all the right notes. Tom Cruise did a great job, I thought. As bad as Queen of the Damned was, Stuart Townsend wasn't bad. It just, he was fine, I thought. But Sam Reed just really embodies the character for me. They got the look of him. He sounds closer to what I always kind of envisioned Lestat to sound like.
But he's not French. Like, it blows my mind that this guy's not French. I'm like, that's a French dude talking.
Yeah. He's
Australian.
Is he Australian? Okay,
he's Australian.
Yeah, which is crazy.
And he even said in the after show thing, it was like, and this whole episode was in French. I had to go over my lines multiple times. Like, how?
Yeah, he was good. Said Stewart did the best with his material he was given.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Like I said, it was another scenario where the actors were not the problem. I thought he did fine. That movie was trash. Really, the only thing, the best thing to come out of that movie was the soundtrack.
Wait, I can't like I know it's like way down the line, but I can't wait to see this Lestat, Sam Reed Lestat, doing that, doing that. Oh my god, man, that's gonna blow the freaking minds. And then putting it in a series where you're able to do 8 to 9, maybe 10 episodes of that kind of story, maybe even mixed in with other stuff, because that's what it seems like they're doing with this. So
they're making it make sense. They're putting things in perspective of storytelling, and I'm enjoying the way they're telling the story. It's not just regurgitating. It's like obviously showrunners and writers and directors know the Anne Rice material so well. watch the movies, understand what's going on, and they understand how you incorporate new things into something that's been around for forever, for decades. You're able to still give you a new viewpoint and do it differently and do justice to it. It's just, I am just literally weekly watching it like, this is so good. And I was explaining to my wife what was going on, and she said, how do they put all that into only a couple episodes? I was like, it's great episodes. Like, they're really focusing on every character. You understand the coven better. You understand the idea of age totally different. Who's the youngest? Who's the oldest? All that stuff matters. How do you challenging things? It's so good.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that in the last episode. It was a really quick thing, but like the father and the son, but then the father is like the 20-year-old looking, and then the son is the one
like
that looks
45.
like he's like 40 something. Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Looks
said
like a grown dude.
He was rebelling. He was like, I didn't want to be a vampire.
That's funny. But that's how they mess with things like that. They're able to, like, and that kind of like foreshadowed what's going on with Claudia too, and this episode was obviously a lot of Arman and Louis, but I thought the Claudia parts of this episode were so, like, you see where it's going, and I already see my heart breaking because I feel so sad for Claudia. Like,
so you saw that little girl's dress?
Oh, and then you saw just her heart just broke. She's like, oh, I have to be reminded of this every fucking night. Like, it was sad because it went from super happy. They're throwing her up in the chair, and she's getting inducted into the coven and
accepted
shit.
into the coven, yeah. And she could
And
kind
then
of be herself, and now she can't do any of it. Yeah.
It was so sad. Yeah, here Xavier said it perfect. They managed to pack a lot of story in each episode. Yeah, but it doesn't feel like it's
not rushed. It's not X-Men 97, where every episode's a lot of stuff going on, but it's not 30 minutes. It's a full hour, and it's giving you a full hour of content, and it's giving you a lot.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is. I'm not even gonna try to
practice the French. Your French.
Yeah.
Ce n'est pas difficile.
Well, Mama Bear's Canadian, right? You're French Canadian.
Le français. So yeah. All
right. Let's see. Horror Geek said Louis' depression reminds Lestat of Nicholas, which is why he fell in love with him. Ooh. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah. I'm guessing
they talked about that though.
Backstory next season. Yeah.
That Nicholas thing. So they talked about it. He's like, so he changed him, and Arman said it didn't take, right? He wasn't strong enough, right?
Yeah.
Because he could tell someone's gonna go mad that they could not do it.
He's what did Lestat say? Like he will rise or rise through it or something like that. I forget what.
And Arman said no, he won't.
No, he won't. Yeah. So
I've seen it before.
I mean, he's like, I've seen it before, and he told the same thing to Louis. He told the same thing to Louis about Claudia.
She won't be there long.
Yeah, she's too young. Like, she doesn't know how to process like it or something like that. What he said, but
the idea of being 14 when you're supposed to be something that's 25, 26 at least. The idea of being 14, always seen as that little girl.
Like, you will never be considered an adult. Never be considered an adult. But so when she got inducted, there's the 5 rules. I don't remember all of them. But she seemed to have already broken almost all of them, right? If not all of them. What do you guys think about that? Is that like a lot of like foreshadowing? Like, she's already broken the rules before she's joined the group. So what do you guys think about like that whole thing?
I think all of them have, though.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, though these are the 5 rules, but you really don't worry about those rules until you become part of the coven. And you're trying to when you're talking about it, like, you're trying to, still stay by those rules, but all of them are breaking those rules. And I think the foreshadowing I saw was when Daniel saw the place burning down. that was really the foreshadowing. So what's really going to happen inside? What's happening from inside? She's going to cause it to burn it down.
It's gonna be her.
Yeah,
you think it's gonna be her? That'd be interesting. Because like I just thought the sprinkle of Daniel being distracted during the interviews was so interesting because like as the viewer you're sucked into whatever story is being told by Louis and Arman, but now like purposefully like they made the keyboard click louder. He's slamming on the keyboard, he's not paying attention, and you can tell he's obviously distracted because when he comes back into the conversation he doesn't know what to say. He goes, yeah, so what about Claudia? He was like, what? Like like we weren't even talking about that, bro. Like you could tell he was like somewhere else, and you saw the fear in his eyes because like you're doing something naughty
you should not
in
be
front
doing.
of you shouldn't be doing in front of right next to the people that
After
you shouldn't be doing it in front of.
Just after Arman just told you, I threw Lestat around, like across the room. Lestat, the guy from all the stuff that you heard before, I threw him around. You want to mess with me?
Yeah. Well, even Rashid,
fire
in the
just come
beginning
out
of the
of my
episode.
hand.
Yeah. Rashid was like, oh, he can kill us whenever he wants, but he's
whenever he wants. Yeah.
Like,
mm-hmm.
Is he not? Yeah. I don't know. What you said, compare both Claudia dress scenes this season.
Oh yeah, so you remember when she went to the seamstress and she put her in this beautiful dress?
Oh yeah.
When she was feeling older, feeling like she was finally being taken like a woman, being looked at as a woman. And now this one, when she's finally being accepted to the coven, but then they're giving her this little girl's dress, and I'm going to play your mom, and we're going to do all this stuff. And it's like, it's those scenes when you literally compare them are just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And you feel so sad, but that's still not the saddest I felt in this episode with Claudia.
No, we're probably getting into that, but like again, I got a shout out to I keep forgetting her name, Delaney, the actress who's playing Claudia.
Mm-hmm.
She's absolutely crushing it, and I know we were super afraid of that, but like in that one scene, going from happy, then looking at the flea circus where she was just so like, oh my god,
I'm no
and
longer
then
fleeing
then
anymore.
it does,
They
like, she
finally
went through.
accepted me.
Oh my god, she just went through all the emotions, and then at the peak happiness is when they just brought her down to like probably one of her lowest that she's been at, since she's been a vampire, and it was just like, wow, and then all this happened right after she gave this like horrible speech about being under the floorboards and being pinned down and this and that. And I was like,
that hit me. All this kind of all turns into the no pain narrative from the title.
The title.
No pain is huge.
Yeah.
And the thing that they're whispering to their victims.
Mm-hmm.
And it's for episode. There's so much pain in this episode. What we just were talking about, with the R word and all these things. It's just, crazy.
Okay. You said Lestat knew what Bruce did to Claudia though, and did nothing. Damn, it's all season 1. I gotta rewatch season 1 now. Yeah. Damn. Because I do remember something like that. I remember like him finding out. I forgot how was it her diary. I think he read her diary and got mad at her or something like that. I don't remember right.
If I remember correctly, that's what something like that.
Yeah.
If memory serves correctly.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah, especially if she uses it against Lestat. Because that would make more sense too, because
that didn't
now
say
if
her.
Arman knows Louis knows Lestat, if that makes sense, she can easily be like, oh no, because he did these bad things to me. That would be interesting. Lestat read his mind from miles away.
Is that yes, okay. That's exactly what happened.
Remember the trains? Oh, the trains. Yeah, Claudia was trying to leave, and Lestat taunted her
told
about
her.
it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I said that one. Okay. I remember the train scene because he was like following her, wasn't he? Like kind of.
She was trying to leave.
He was following her. Yep.
He
When
said,
she was
"No,
trying to
you
leave.
can't do that
She was
because
on the train.
Louis will
Louis
lose his
loves
dish
you.
if without you." Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I remember that part. Is like you can't leave Louis because Louis means a lot to me, and you mean a lot to him. So don't do that. Like but he was. Yeah. But he taunted her. I remember that. Damn. Yeah. But even though it's not Lestat, it's still like hard for Louis to hear it. And you saw it, like because he stopped whatever he was gonna say. He's like, yeah, that's bad, but you dropping this and opening up to me is more important. I think that's what I felt. He's like, I'm gonna let you say, and then she's like, oh, I'm gonna be inducted. You come, and he goes, I wouldn't miss it for the world. Even though he's like, nah, man, we need to get the fuck out of here, But because he always wanted to make her happy. It's all he wants is like for her to be happy, And yeah, because even when he thought Arman was gonna kill him this episode, he's like, kill me, just make it quick, but protect Claudia. And he's like, oh no, she's gonna die. And then that's when his like vibe kind of changed. He's like, what? Like no, you gotta protect her. You gotta tell her she's amazing every day, kind of thing. So yeah, yeah. And also, I like how the episodes are not season 2 episode. It's just another episode because it started as like episode 10. I was like, wait, what the fuck? And I'm like, oh yeah, because the way they carried on.
I'm thinking about the episode more. It makes more sense now because he does. She says he did it over and over and over. So basically, replaying, understanding, we getting gory replay of what happened day by day by day. So it was like a week long torture of her of doing it. That's why she kept saying over and over and over because it was
of that. Well, from Bruce.
Yeah, on Bruce.
Yeah. Okay.
Because she was going.
I appreciate you guys
going during that time.
Bringing that up.
I just don't know. How do you feel about that even being in the show?
You want to go?
It's fine, I guess.
I mean, I would say it's fine in the sense of it's real. You know what I mean? And the way they're doing the show is taking things as like I and we said it before, Louis being black from the South makes more sense, and it makes for a more compelling story, but also
that's the other thing. Claudia being a 14-year-old sexualized, and now we're talking about this sexual experience thing, like this negative experience, and it's hard because in real life, Black women are sexualized at a younger age is a lot, and that happens a lot.
True.
So it's hard talking about that when we really break it down. When you start really thinking about that, that's tough.
Xavier said aging Claudia up, definitely adding a compelling element. Same thing. Her being as young as Kristen Dunst, what was she like?
Yeah.
Was she like?
She's
10,
about 11
12?
years old. 10, 11 years old.
Yeah, that would have been a lot.
She's like 6 or 7.
Yeah, and she's like a kid, like a baby in the book, which is another really crazy. But her being old enough to like being able to attend college and being like a teenager, and then dealing with stuff like that, that a lot of teenage women in college have to, navigate through and be wary of.
She's
stuff
14,
like that. So it's
she's like still a baby, and then the sexualization, and then having to go through that sexual trauma. It's very problematic sometimes. I mean, I see someone having a problem with it.
Yeah, So also at the point of time, 14 was considered ready to court. Possibly because this was I forgot what year it was, but well, no,
At
it
this
was
point,
early
you're in
1900s, wasn't it? Like early somewhere like that.
no, man.
Yeah.
Mm,
No, because the first book was to like what
Well, I think they
1930s.
changed the time period, didn't they?
So the you know
1930. Yeah.
so they should be right now after the French Revolution,
Well, it's after World War II.
after World War II. So it's what
So it's like 19
60, 50s, 60s.
no. It's
It's
got
got
it's
to be
like
50s,
right
right?
after it's right after the World
Because
War II. So it's gotta be
they're
like
traveling Europe during the whole
during World War II.
during World
Even
War
there was
II.
like
Yeah,
a reference of it in there where the Claudia brought up like, oh, we have an incendiary and we'll just burn the bodies. He goes, that's very German. And he like walks away as he's telling people how to kill bodies with
but
rats.
it still could
And
be. I
so like
mean, the war ended what in 45,
45.
46.
Yeah. Yeah. So it could still be like late
Still be like
40s. Yeah, they're in the
late
40s. Yeah,
40s,
that's what I
early
thought.
50s. Yeah.
mm.
That's what I thought. Like you like probably late 40s. That's what I was assuming. Because it's still like it seems like that time frame,
Within yeah,
like
2
very
years.
post war kind of stuff. Yeah, yeah. Okay, great. I was thinking of time zone.
Mhm.
Maybe by our standards, then she would have been a young woman. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. G said Claudia being harmed by Bruce was definitely to show the viciousness of these vampires. Yeah, yeah, and don't forget Lestat said European vampires are worse, and Bruce Makers was European according to him.
Yep. This
Oh
and
shit. Okay. Okay. Yeah, and I love how she brought that up again. She goes, "Oh, Lestat said the European vampires are worse," but then she goes and tells a story. She goes, "What can be worse than this? Worse than I
yeah.
went through
Then when I
in
went through.
America." So yeah, yeah. So that whole thing is going to be really really interesting. When it gets to
Yeah,
that point of who's more messed up. Lestat, the American vampires, the European vampires. Like yeah, I mean, this whole show is just about how messed up everybody is. It doesn't even matter if you're living or undead, whatever it's called. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, it have a lot of stuff
I'm not
going
just,
on.
I know what you're talking about. Like Mama Bear. Yeah. But no, but I mean, the whole thing in the show, they talk about, things in the time, like in the first season, Louis owning property was a big deal to a lot of these people,
Mhm.
and,
And people
so
didn't like it.
things, yeah, things being happening in the times that the show takes place makes sense. So yeah, a 14-year-old is might be considered older back then than they are now, but it's still like yeah, some things are always universally bad no matter what time it is. Yeah. And yeah. But yeah, yeah, damn just that whole thing with Bruce, and appreciate, all you guys in chat talking like, clearing that up, because that just it makes it so rough for Claudia, man. It just
yeah,
I feel so like legit heartbroken for her. Like it's she like I get she probably appreciates like not dying in the fire, but also
mhm.
like can I not be a kid? Can
Yeah.
I
Being
be a kid?
trapped. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Being trapped in a kid's body for eternity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, they even touched on. Well, they did a deep dive of that in season one. That's always been the plight of the character. And
Yeah.
even though they did age up the character a little bit, the point still stands.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's as harsh as this sounds. Considering what's eventually going to happen to Claudia, it's almost
Mm-hmm.
it's almost like a sweet release.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know.
Kind of
but
almost
but
like like mercy, almost at this
Yeah.
at a certain point, but you can see this I think is the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
Because
I
Oh,
mean,
definitely.
Arman
yeah,
told him.
yeah,
Arman told Louis
he already
he
hinted
won't
at
be
it.
there
He already
long.
told
It's
yeah,
not going to happen. I've seen it happen before. I've been around for a lot longer than you've been and even thought about.
yeah, 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 and it's just so sad because at the end, man, she sees that dress, and it was just like, oh, oh man, and kudos to whoever said like compared horror geek says compared the dresses. That's I didn't even think about that. Where like a couple episodes ago was it, or even last episode, but the other dress,
Mm.
she sees the fancy. I want to be a pretty woman, and now here's another dress. Like you're gonna be a kid every single night.
Over and over and feel and that
And
thing that you
but it's
hate.
almost like, but it's like this is what you wanted though. You wanted to be part of the group. To be part of the group. This is how you fit in with it, and it's just like careful what you wish for kind of thing almost.
Mhm.
You know. Yeah,
No, that's
super sad.
exactly it.
Xavier said, "Kudos on the show for evoking this type of discussion." Yeah, yeah. I don't know if they meant to do it or not, but
No, I think everything they've done has been thought out.
I'm sure.
Has been
Yeah,
this yeah.
yeah, yeah.
You don't
I
just
mean, but that's
change Claudia for
oh,
it's in giggles. You make her a black woman in 1900s and then 1940 like through the 1940s. Like there's reasons
mhm.
why you do that, and there's so many things that you have to deal with in that same setting, and always being a kid.
Oh, yeah,
The sexualization is still a part of it. I mean, I think that's deeper.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
You know, it's
And then
hard to even talk about because once again, the idea of no pain again. So like
yeah,
when women go through these things, right, and then have to they're told to get back past it, right, and you no
Mhm.
longer think about your pain. You think about like that. That's on the side. I don't have to worry about no pain right now. It's in my mind. I need to put that in the back burner.
mm, mhm.
It's just so much trauma in this episode. It's kind of
Yeah,
crazy. A simple
yeah,
title like "No Pain,"
yeah.
can
It's just
do
like
that
the
so
complete
much.
opposite. It's like, yeah, titled "No Pain," and it's nothing but pain and painful memories and painful thoughts. And Zennia wanted to hurt Louis. He don't like him. I think Santiago was jealous because Armand wants Louis, not him. Mm,
I think that's a very good point. And I think Santiago is going to be the one that brings it to the coven. Like, does he speak for the coven? So yeah, sure, because he's bringing stuff up because he's the star of the show. Now they're
yeah.
changing some of the show, so does that balance some of that out? Does he still have that same power over everybody? I don't know.
Mhm.
Um, but I think that's what he's really upset. Not even that his maker was killed, but that Armand doesn't like him. Is not in
Yeah.
love with him.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the jealous thing is for sure. I think, he wants like it should be me. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
I'm the star of the show now, and the people because that was one thing when what have we said when Claudia is like, "Oh, you were great." He goes, "Yes, because I am." And then everyone in the crowd or in the back was like, "Oh, professional," or whatever
Mm.
they said. Yeah, it was like he has the coven. Like, granted, Armand might be the leader, but
They're eating
they
out of his hand. They
follow
made him the
Santiago.
story.
Yeah,
But what if that's what makes Armand burn down the coven?
yeah, I could see that 100%.
Oh, you think
Mhm.
you gonna challenge me? You're not following the 5 rules either. So now, if you don't think this is how it works, no other vampire can hurt another vampire except by their leader saying it's okay.
Mhm.
And I didn't say
Yeah.
it's okay. So I'm the leader. I'm gonna say it's okay for all you guys. You guys are all going. I'm starting over.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
Louis.
Yep. I can see that. That's why it's like at
And
this
then
point I can see Armand, Louis, or Claudia burning it down. You know, I in the book, I'm not sure who does it. I don't remember, like I never read it, so I know of plot details of the book. I don't know, or I know of the plot, but I don't know details. So a
Mhm.
lot of this is new for me. So um yeah,
Mhm.
so and it might change from the book, which I'm okay with it. It seems like a lot
Mhm.
of book fans are okay with it too. So We appreciate everyone in live chat chit-chatting with us, talking about Interview with the Vampire. Thank you guys so much. All the new people in chat, thank you. Appreciate you guys. We'll be back next week talking about Interview with the Vampire. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions, any theories. We're just fans, so I don't know if we're too in depth. I know you guys are more in depth than I am with the books and stuff like that. So but leave a comment, theories, all that fun stuff. Appreciate all you guys. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, come and join us live if you want to be part of the live channel discussion. We are live every Monday and Thursday, talk about TV, movies, comics, all that nerdy stuff. So appreciate all you guys in the live chat. Stick around because we are going to move on to our next topic for the night.